Andor is the Star Wars show that I know a lot of people out there have been waiting for. It is mature. It is basically like an HBO drama series, except on Disney Plus with Star Wars. For people that have been sort of tired of seeing Tatooine over and over again in these Disney Plus shows, thankfully you will not be seeing Tatooine at all in Andor, and you will also not be seeing any spoilers in this review. This is a spoiler-free review of the first 4 episodes of Andor, which premieres on Disney Plus this Wednesday. So you can see the first 3 episodes of Andor, and then you'll be able to see episode 4 next week. But Andor is absolutely fantastic. It stars Diego Luna, Audrey Arjona, and Stellan Skarsgård, and among other people. But it's really the story of Cassian Andor and how he sort of gets to the point where he is in Rogue One. The series is supposed to be 2 seasons of 24 episodes. We get 12 episodes in the first season, 12 episodes in the second season. And it's going to tell you the story right up to where we get to in Rogue One. And obviously, if you loved Rogue One, you are going to love this series. Like I said in the intro, it's mature. This show is just basically what we wanted out of Star Wars. And I know the Mandalorian is really popular. Book of Boba Fett was awesome. But we've wanted something a little more mature since we've gotten that new sort of Disney Plus version of Star Wars here without a lot of movies coming out because of various factors and stuff that is out of our control as fans. But we've gotten these great TV shows, and Andor is another one in that line of just absolutely magnificent Star Wars television. Star Wars is obviously episodic, it's serial, so that it fits very well with this television format. And Andor is especially like that. Through the first 4 episodes, there's plenty of action, there's plenty of political intrigue, there's plenty of backstabbing among Imperials, and that's really what's great about this show, is that it shows both sides of this conflict, but it shows them in such a compelling way that you kind of feel like scared a little bit of oh wow, this is how the Empire took power, because of the fact that all these people that are in control here are so compelling and so sort of charismatic. And these actors that portray the Imperials in the show really, really do a great job of that performance among what they're doing. Obviously, the Rebels are great, too. The Stellan Skarsgård's role was written for him, or it seems like it was. He is just absolutely magnificent. It's surprising that he hasn't done Star Wars yet. And then you see him in this, and you're like, well, I'm kind of glad he didn't, so that he could get this role. Diego Luna takes the character of Cassian Andor to another level, and it really sort of takes everything that he put into the role in Rogue One, and you see where it's going. And that's a really, really satisfying thing for an audience, is to see where this character starts and where they end up as this hero that, you know, basically saves the galaxy from the Empire, or his portion of it. And so the rest of the characters, Audrey Arjona is really great. And then there's a couple Imperials that are fantastic. Genevieve O'Reilly is great as Mon Mothma. And so it just all combines into this one big pot of Star Wars goodness that you get in Andor. Tony Gilroy wrote the series, and he just, wow. His writing is absolutely great. It's wonderful. It's heart-pounding. It's action-packed. It is just filled with intrigue, and it's filled with this sort of mystery, because there's a mystery of where the story is going. The 4th episode it doesn't leave off on a cliffhanger necessarily, but it leaves off on a nice point for people who got screeners to sort of guess where it's going and where it could be going. So after the first 3 episodes, the 3rd episode in particular is among the best of the bunch. It's one of the best episodes of television that Star Wars has given us, from just an action standpoint and just the whole package of the episode. For people out there that are going to complain about how there's politics in your Star Wars, well, go back to 1977 and watch it. There's a lot of politics in this series, in this 4-episode run, about how the Empire came to be, how the Rebels are fighting. Are the Rebels sort of doing too much, being too sort of aggressive in their maneuvers and all of that? All those questions get asked throughout the series, and it's absolutely just enthralling, really. And I have a feeling that a lot of people that have checked out of Star Wars, or that are sort of on the precipice of checking out of Star Wars, will come back for this, because this show really does what we wanted out of Star Wars TV, where we wanted the movies and we wanted all these big, bombastic, huge set pieces. But for the TV shows, a lot of people were thinking, hey, let's tell some stories that we might not be able to tell on film, or that might need to get a longer leash to tell on film. And Andor really does do that. And for people that are complaining that there might be a prequel or whatever, who cares about this character, go back and watch Rogue One and then watch Andor, and you'll see what I mean by just how great this show is and how it's telling the story of Andor and making us really care about a character that we didn't care about in the first place at the beginning of Rogue One, and then by the end of it, obviously, everybody cared about him, and then we're getting more of that. For people who want to complain about fan service, I hate people who complain about that anyway. It's, if you're a fan watching this, why do you care about fan service? But Tony Gilroy did make it a big point to point out that there will not be, like, massive Easter eggs. You're not going to have the Star Wars cameos with people walking in the background and everything. He said that the people that show up in this series that might be older characters or characters that you do know, they show up for a reason. They're not just showing up because we want to sell an action figure. They're showing up for reasons to the story. And so that, in the first 4 episodes, doesn't really manifest itself. But we might see later on in the series or in Season 2 that we're going to be seeing some crossover with Rogue One. We might be seeing some crossover with other characters from the original trilogy or from the prequel trilogy even, who knows. But that is not a big portion of this, and that's kind of refreshing to see a Star Wars tale where it's just about the characters, it's just about the people that we know, and there's not really anything there that's going to go, hey, look who's this, and you're not going to see, people on TikTok screaming about character cameos. It's just, this is a good show, it's not a cameo fest, and so that's wonderful out of Andor. And finally, just to wrap it all up, because, Andor, it might not be for everybody. It might not be for the people out there who do want that cameo fest or who want a more lighthearted Star Wars. This is a very dark version of Star Wars. This is a very dark version of Star Wars that has this commentary on our own lives. And if you don't like that commentary, this might not be for you. But if you do want some more political thrills and some big action set pieces out of your Star Wars with some dark, grimy, gritty sort of themes and vibes, you will love Andor. If you want some great visuals, just if you're tired of the volume, like the green screen thing that they used in The Mandalorian, this is going to be a breath of fresh air because they did not use that on this series. They chose to film on location or with, on sound stages with actual sets. And so Andor does that. It combines all of this into this just massive, great story that's being told and unfurling before our eyes. And I think it's going to really, really work with that television format, that serialized format that Star Wars loves to do, and Star Wars really does best in with this story. So Andor, if I'm going to give it a score, I gave it a 96 out of 100 in our written review for that#show.com. You can check that out in the description. But for this one, it's going to get a 96 out of 100 or 9.6 or whatever you want to say. It is great. Go watch it on Disney+. You'll get to watch the first 3 episodes. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe and do all that YouTube stuff because it really helps me out. Know what you guys want to see out of the channel. And I will see you again real soon. Make sure to go watch Andor, and thanks for watching.